And welcome back to the channel, everyone, with myself, David, aka Millionaire Incorporated, where, as you know, I like to go through topics of personal finance, wealth creation, investment, and general self-help topics of interest, which can help you kind of improve your life and overall freedom. Now, as you know, I've lately been diving into a couple of topics relating to crypto, and this video is no exception. So I'm going to jump in and chat to you about Solana and its blockchain quickly, because I think this is a fantastic project to kind of keep an eye on, which is possibly going to grow quite rapidly and provide quite a bit decent amount of gains for you if you invest in crypto. Now, as you are aware, the crypto market has undergone a massive correction over the past couple of weeks, but from those lows it's created, it's actually starting to kind of come back up over time. So that's why I want to kind of spend a bit of time going over some of these crypto coins and potential projects which will provide you a good investment or reasonable investment, in my opinion, and potentially grow some wealth over time. Now, as always, guys, just remember though, this is not personal financial advice. These videos are just for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. If you need personal financial advice, go seek a financial professional and do your own research. Always remember, do your own research when it comes to any kind of investment, because at the end of the day, it's your own money that you're risking, not anybody else's. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So one of the reasons why I'm looking at Solana as a crypto coin to invest in is, as you know, I like to look at cryptos which are smart contract plays. So that's probably one of the biggest aspects when it comes to crypto investing for me. I like to look at projects which has that smart contract functionality and is scalable. So Solana itself is a layer one smart contract play, and it's developed by a team of software engineers led by Anatoly Yakovenko, who is a veteran in the software engineering world and has worked on many projects which are on Fortune 500 companies and things like that. So one of the reasons what draws me to Solana is its high transaction speed. So as you can see in the notes here, it's got a roughly about 55,000 to 65,000 transactions per second, um, which is extremely high. So it's almost competing with centralized kind of networks such as Visa and other exchange or companies like that. And that's one of the major issues which Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency out there, is facing at the moment, where it's very slow transaction per second, or rate of transaction. I think it's currently 15 transactions per second, which is sluggish to say the best. And it's also extremely expensive to pay for those transactions at the moment because of its high gas fees. So this is one of the things which Solana was kind of bringing up and wanted to work on. It wanted to have much higher transaction speed to be able to kind of allow for a much larger volume of transactions and make it very affordable. So, which is one of the reasons why I said I was looking at this project to invest in and its entire ecosystem. And the reason why the Solana can actually do this is because it's figured out that with most proof of stake or proof of work verification of transactions, most transactions aren't time stamped, or they aren't kind of ordered in a way. So they have to kind of go through and verify them one transaction after the other on a blockchain. And in the case of Bitcoin, if you're probably aware, the longest blockchain wins. And this is where it gets a bit technical, a bit kind of confusing. So if you want, go jump over to Coin Bureau's channel and actually look at their first video they did on Solana. They explain it in quite some detail. I'm not going to go over that here, but that's one of the issues which the crypto blockchains were facing, and something which Solana was actually working on. So they found that by being able to timestamp a transaction, you can actually come back and verify that transaction at a later date. You don't need to wait for any other verifiers to verify that transaction, or have a group of verifiers to verify those transactions, depending on nodes and things like that, which allows transactions to kind of go through a lot faster. And another thing which Solana uses is proof of stake for consensus, and uses this proof of history, which allows for that time stamping of transactions, which allows for this extremely rapid rate of transactions. In saying that, Solana is actually a very complex blockchain, and that isn't without its own hiccups. And it's becoming known that it's got a few hiccups on its blockchain, which I think is making a few people quite weary of investing in it for the long term. And it's something which probably the Solana team has to work on, which I'm sure they will without any doubt. So when it comes to Solana and its ecosystem, it's a growing ecosystem with projects jumping over to the Solana blockchain because of its rapid transaction speed, which is having a lot of, as I said, projects jumping ship from Ethereum and things like that. And it's got very easy bridging between the Ethereum blockchain and the Solana blockchain, which is allowing for this to happen at a much faster rate. Currently, it's hosting the Serum Dex and Tether, which are two major plays in the crypto world. As you know, Tether is one of the largest crypto coins, which is a stable coin. Um, and because of this rapid rate of transaction, that's one of the reasons why the Tether has actually jumped over to the Solana ecosystem. Alameda Investments actually invests in Solana and actually is hosting its own exchange on the Solana network because obviously the creator of the FTX exchange, Sam Bankman-Fried, actually created that um, exchange and also invests in Solana itself. So he's obviously got vested interest in that. So that's one of the reasons why it's actually hosted there. And its ecosystem is actually rapidly growing. It's been around for a few years now, but it's only launched its mainnet somewhat more recently, and currently has over 240 projects being hosted on the actual blockchain itself. So things I'm looking at when it comes to projects to look for to invest on the ecosystem of Solana is what was similar to what I suggested for the Polkadot ecosystem. So I'll leave a link to that video down below so you can actually watch that video as well. And if you want to jump towards the end, similar slide setup as this one. But you want to see what's actually making the, say, Ethereum network work. So you want the DEXs, exchanges, protocols, DeFi, wallets, um, and other tools to make the actual blockchain itself function properly so that it can actually be a much more viable, long-standing project in the entire ecosystem itself. So you might always want to look at which projects are already operational and are likely to grow as the entire crypto market is growing over time. Now, that's something I want to discuss in a later video because I think a lot of people get caught up in the hype of crypto and that, oh, everything's going to go to the moon. I'm going to be a millionaire overnight with this $1,000 investment, yada, yada, yada. Now, you have to understand that money moves into and out of markets constantly, and there is only so much money in the world or printed in the world at the moment, even though governments are obviously printing a lot more money currently at the time of this video. Doesn't mean that money is completely infinite at its current state. So obviously, I think the US is in debt $14 trillion or whatever. You can understand that that 14 trillion is spread across property, businesses, personal debts, investments in the stock exchange, etc. So it's not just okay, sweet. Um, this asset class of crypto can grow to $14 trillion overnight. It's got to be, I guess, kind of proportional. And it's kind of like taking up part of a pie over time. So just be mindful of that. There is obviously a lot of room for crypto to grow over the coming years, especially for Solana and its ecosystem. So that's why I'm saying these projects are actually great to look for. And this is just a bit of a quick snapshot of what projects are currently on the Solana ecosystem. So you can actually see here already quite a few um, big name projects on here. So you have Arweave, the Graph, MoonPay, obviously FTX, Binance. I think hosts a bit on the crypto on the Solana network. Um, Serum, which is like I said, one of my favorite ones, which I'm going to get into in just a second. Ren, Wormhole, and the list just goes on. So let's jump over to coinmarketcap.com for a moment. Let's look at some of the coins that are currently on its ecosystem. So this is the current Solana ecosystem. So you can see there already, Solana sitting at number 18. It's got a current market cap of $8.56 billion. Now, compared to some of the other ones, such as, let's say, Cardano or Ripple, it's only at a fraction of what they're valued at. And so that means that there's a lot of room to grow for Solana on the order of almost 5x. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did move up to that at least $40 billion market cap or higher, up to even $100 million market cap, which is a 12x from where it is currently. So long term, definitely, I think, a great investment to look into. But let's scroll down here and let's look at some of the other projects on the actual Solana ecosystem. So obviously, you got the graph here. We've ran Serum, which are also some massive names, Terra as well, and Chainlink. Obviously, like I said, some huge names already. Going down the list, you got Bonfire, Audius, which is a NFT play relating to music, Oxygen, Kin, Frontier, Maps, and the list just goes on. So as I said, there's a lot of massive plays here, and some of these have got a significant amount of room to move. So Serum, which is one of my favorite ones, let's jump over here, currently sitting at 4.5 or $4.53 at the moment at the time of this video, with a market cap of 226 million. So that can easily move up to $1 billion, which is, like I said, 5x from where it is here, and it is at, let's say, already under half of what it was. So it's probably already moved like 50%. So it's already at like $500 million in market cap, which it's actually moved down from. So definitely a great play. And the thing which I love about Serum is that it's a decentralized exchange which operates like a centralized exchange because of its order book functionality and its ability to handle 50 to 65 transactions per second, which is the current Solana transaction per second rate, which is huge. So it wants to kind of think compete with similar exchanges such as the New York Stock Exchange, which has millions of exchanges or transactions per second. Another one is Ren, which gets a lot of attention, and Ren provides liquidity for inter-blockchain exchange. So great actual cryptocurrency there. And another one of my favorite ones on the Solana exchange is the FTX token, like I said, which is owned by Sam Bankman-Fried. I hope I said that correctly. That's his exchange, which he's created, and it's obviously growing. It's currently sitting at a market cap of $3 billion, and that is likely to grow as well over time. And that dropped from, sorry, yeah, it's dropped from $60 or just over $60 per coin down to its current area of about 33. So it's sitting at like 50% of where it's actually was. So it's from just here to where it was. That's a 100% move, a 100x kind of, or 1x kind of move which it can make. So definitely something to look into. So hope that's helped with you guys. As always, guys, don't forget smash that subscribe button if you're new to the channel or if you like these kind of videos. I do plan on putting a lot more of these out there for you. Drop a like. Let me know which projects you think will be growing over time, especially on the Solana network. Would love to hear some feedback from you guys, and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.